Hello everyone, my name is Hassan and today I'm gonna share with you a very nice Shopify data layer. Recently, I myself developed a Shopify data layer and the Shopify data layer is very powerful and very easy to use. By using this Shopify data layer, you can track any kind of complex event from your Shopify website. So let's get started. To use this Shopify data layer, at first you need to come to this page. I will share the page link in the video description. And in this page, you will see two code snippet. One is name ultimate data layer.liquid, as well as you should see the checkout.liquid file. And you also find some little description about how you need to use this code with your theme. And in the very bottom of the code, you see that source code. By clicking the GitHub icon too, you can check the details about source code. And if we like to insert this code snippet data layer code in our website, then at first we need to go to our Google Tag Manager. And from here, by clicking it, we need to copy the code which is related to our GTM container. And from the Shopify dashboard inside the online store, you should see that themes. And in here, this is my current theme. We need to click the three dots and we need to go to the edit code. From the edit code inside the layout folder, actually here inside this layout folder, you should see that theme.liquid. From here, we need to paste the GTM tag manager script right after the head section. Here I have just pasted here, and we also need to insert the body related code, as I have just copied the code. And from here, right after the body of this website, I can quickly search it body. It is here right after the body section. We need to paste this code here and save it. And then we need to use this data layer code. So at first we need to create a file name ultimate data layer.liquid. You can just copy the name from here, and we need to go to the snippets folder. From the snippet folder, add a new snippet and paste this name, and done. And by clicking here, we have created a file name ultimate data layer.liquid. Actually, this data layer name is ultimate data layer. And then we need to copy this code ultimate data layer.liquid. By clicking this icon, you can easily copy the code and paste it here and save it. And we also need to insert this newly created file with our theme.liquid file. We just need to copy this code before the dot. We don't need to copy this dot sign. Just copy this, so we can mark it right before this dot and copy it. And again, we need to go to our theme.liquid file. You can come here through here or by clicking here, and we need to paste this code right after our Google Analytics code this way and save it. We have also another work here. I am just going back to my Shopify dashboard again, and we just need to copy another code. This code name is checkout.liquid. By clicking here, we can copy the code, and I am going back to Shopify dashboard. From here, in the settings button left bottom corner, clicking on it, and you should see that checkout.liquid, sorry, checkout link. And if we scroll down, you will find a field name additional script. You just need to paste this code, and if I scroll down top of the code, I should get a location where we need to change this GTM container ID. So I'm going back to my Google Tag Manager, and this is my container ID. I am just copy the container ID and replace it with the real container ID. And make sure that there is no extra space before or after this container ID, as well as there is no new line break here. Many cases I saw that people make mistake and give extra line break here. Make sure that it is exactly look like this and save it. So we have successfully inserted this data layer code with our website. Now it is time to preview our settings. So from here, I am going to preview mode from my Google Tag Manager. And this is my website link. Actually, I have taken a demo website for demonstration purpose. And from here, right now, it is connected with my Google Tag Manager, and I am in the home page. And from here, this is the catalog. If I go to the catalog from the any category page of Shopify, right now the category name is new, and I am expecting view item list event. You see that this is the view item event, as well as we are getting all of the information, currency, items, and everything is here. And if we scroll down, you see that we are getting total value as well as item list ID, as well as this is the name of our category. And now if I go to our single product page, for example, I'm going to this product page. This case we should see view item. This is the view item, and this is the all right information. And again, I'm going back to catalog page to show the add to cart event, how this work. And I like to let you know that I have taken a very complex thing to show how this data layer work in the critical situation or any advanced with any advanced feature. Right now there are few couple of options to add to cart product. At first I can add to cart instantly from my catalog page. If I click add to cart button right here, you see that I am getting add to cart event, as well as if I click the quick view, and I should see this is the product, and if I change product information or anything, and if I click add to cart, this case I also getting the add to cart event perfectly. Again, I am going back to show few more option of add to cart. If I click the card icon, you see that the card icon has appeared here. You will see also add to cart option. If I click add to cart and come here, you see that this case also this is perfectly showing add to cart event. And here is also quick view available. If I click quick view and increase the item or do the thing and add to cart, I am also perfectly getting the add to cart event is here. And if I go further, for example, if I go to a single product page, and this is the single product page, in the single product page I am just clearing, or I can keep, you see that view item. And in here, if I add to cart this product, and I am expecting this is the add to cart event has successfully fired, as well as if I click the buy now icon, for example, you see that if I click from here the buy now icon, this case we also getting two event. One is add to cart, another event is begin checkout. I think this is logical, because when you are clicking directly going to checkout page, actually here two things happen. One is add to cart and begin checkout, two event actually happen together. That's why I program this way. Again, I am going back to my website, show more thing, and in this theme, if I scroll down, you see that there is a sticky bar in the top, sticky bar to add to cart product. You see that if I click this icon here, this case also it is perfectly showing add to cart. So the add to cart product, add to cart, it doesn't matter how your product is added to cart. Every cases this data layer is perfectly called the add to cart even in your Google GTM tag manager. Now I am going back to my homepage, show for more events, and you see that I'm clearing the right panel, and right now you see that in the top right corner this is the cart icon. If I click this cart icon, and you see that I am getting the cart details here instantly as a pop-up without going to cart page, and perfectly we are getting also the view cart event. In the general data layer, if you may not see this type of thing, if you like to get the add to cart, you may need to go to the cart page. I mean this page you may need to go, but in this data layer you are perfectly getting the data layer for add to cart instantly, whether your how your theme has configured this. For example, if I add few more product to show more thing about this data layer, so I am adding few more product in the cart. And right now, for example, I am in the contact page, and if I view card, you see that I am clicking this card. Actually my card is appearing instantly as a pop-up card. This is called mini card, and our event has successfully fired view card event, as well as we are getting all of the card information. Now if I increment a product from the card, you see that we are getting add to card event, as well as if I Also remove a item from cart. We are expecting remove from cart. You see that the event is successfully fired here. As well as if we just decrement a quantity, that case also I am expecting remove from cart. You see that this event has successfully fired. As well as if I go to the checkout by clicking here, you see that we are getting the begin checkout even with all of the right information related to our items and other thing. So actually we can make a purchase. Before going to purchase, I like to show a few more things who is offering this great data layer. So in the top corner, you see that this is a search icon. Actually, this search happen as a way. You may know that in the Google Analytics for there is an option for search. Actually, that search will not work for this type of Ajax search. For example, if I search for t-shirt and sorry, you see this is the t-shirt and you see that we are getting the search event here as well as this is the information which information appears on search. Actually, this thing is happening with Ajax way and you are able to perfectly track your search related thing instantly here. You don't need to go to the surface. For example, many cases you may see that this event only fire when people go to this type of search space, individual search space, but our cases you don't need to go to the search space. Whether search event has happened, this data layer is perfectly able to track the search event and showing the information in the data layer. And right now all of the modern themes actually they are configured this way, so you don't need to go to the search space to find the search product. And I believe that this is a perfect event for this data layer. As well as in your theme, if you have something like this, for example, if I scroll down below, this is a phone number, and if I click the phone number and I'm just canceling it, and see that we are getting the phone number click event from the Google Tag Manager. And if in your theme there is any phone number clickable, if I click here, you see that we are getting the email click event. So we are perfectly getting phone number click and email click event. And if I go to contact page, you see that contact page and this is the default information. If I give the information and submit the form by clicking submit, you see that we are getting the contact form submit event from our Shopify data layer. And in your theme, is there anything like this newsletter subscription? That case you also get event for this. For example, if I subscribe this newsletter and you see that newsletter subscript sign up event has fired here. So it is time to go to our checkout. So I am just come here and I am going to check out. And many cases you see that there is another option, for example Shopify payment. That case also this data layer perfectly track the begin checkout event. So I am just clicking this checkout button and right now I am in a checkout page. So I like to make a test purchase here, and this is the bogus part that card number is 1 and expire date is anything valid and the security code 111. And now if I pay this, we have successfully make a purchase. And if we check our Google Tag Assistant from here, you see that we are getting a purchase event. As well as if we check the value, you see that we are getting transaction ID, value, tax, shipping, discount, and all other information is perfectly fine here. You see that we also getting all of the information related to items, as well as we also getting another thing. If I show the thing, I'm going to data layer. From here you see that we also getting the customer related information here. So in the purchase event, we are getting all of the information. The customer related information may be useful for your Facebook ad or Google ad related thing. So this is the default setting, but this Shopify data layer came with lot of advanced features and functionality. To show the thing again, I am going back to my home page of the website, and from here if I go to the catalog page here, And you see that this theme there is another option called add to wish list. So if I click here, the product will be added to wish list. As well as if I hover over a product, you see that this is a button for quick view. If I click on it, you see the a quick view of a product is appear. But if we like to track those two things, actually quick view is a kind of view item. So if we like to track this item as a view item as well as add to wish list, we need to go to our data layer code from here. And if I scroll very top of the code, you will see the settings for doing the thing. This is actually, this is here, add to wish list selector. Here actually we need to add few css selector related to our theme and our shop. So if I come here, the first settings is add to wish list icon. Actually we need to use the icon, select css selector of the icon. If I come back to my website, and this is actually icon, if I right click on it and go to inspect, I should see the real selector for this icon. This is actually the icon. You see that this is highlighting, and from here I am just taking the css class name heart, as well as if you like you can take id or whatever related to your theme. So this is the css selector. So we need to put a dot sign then heart, and if you take id then you need to use the hash sign. It is actually css selector rule. And if you are familiar with selectors, so maybe it is very easy for you, but if you don't have proper knowledge about css selector, you can comment below, then I can quickly help you to set up the thing for your specific store. Anyway, then another setting is grid item selector. Actually we need to select the item, single item. So if we inspect here, right click and go to inspect and take the inspector icon in the top right corner and just hover over the item, you will see that the item is selected. And if I move up my cursor, you see that this is the single item. So our case the single item is product item, as well as you see that if I hover over each of the item is selecting one by one. So we just need to select the single item selector, and your theme maybe this selector might be different. So I'm just copy the css selector for single item. This is actually product, and I just need to copy this and paste it in our settings here, grid item selector. This is a single item selector, and just dot and paste dot, because this is rule of css selector. Here case you might find something different for your theme structure. And if I save it and go to preview again, so I am in this page, and if I reload the page, and I am giving one more refresh so that we can confirm that we are getting the updated code, and you see that this is connected and we are in the view item list. Anyway, if I click this heart icon, I am expecting add to wish list. You see that this is the add to wish list event we are getting here, and this is the item information. Now if I show how we can track the quick view as a view item, so here again I'm going back, and in the data layer code you will see something like this. In here you see that quick view element. We need to use the element where we usually click to show the quick view. That means when I come back to my website and hover over, actually we need to use this button css selector. So I am going to inspect here, right click, and you see that this is the button. Your theme it may be different, and here you should, I see that this is a button called quick view. So I am just copy this class name. There is a couple of class, but use any of them is perfectly fine. And when going back to my settings here, we just need to use this selector, and you should see that exact same thing as grid item selector. So I am not explain same thing again. I'm just copy this thing and paste it here and save it. And right now if I give another refresh here, you see that right now if I click a quick view here and I am expecting view item, you see that I am getting the view item also for the quick view. And I think this is logical because quick view is a kind of view item. Although the customer is not directly going to the single product page, anyway this should work for everywhere. If I add to cart this product and go to the cart, and here you see that we are also getting the quick view in the cart drawer. If I click this icon, the product name is anchor bracelet means. If I click here, again we are expecting this, and you see that anchor bracelet means the product name is perfectly fine. So this is two setup. One is for add to wish list, one is for tracking quick view as a view item. Now if I share with you all other settings at the very beginning of the code, you will see something like constructor. After the constructor, you see that this is a use a prefix for your event. This is if you like to add a prefix with your data layer event, that's case you can use this. Let me show how this can help you. For example, many cases we saw that client already add some app and we are getting multiple same event. That case this is very helpful. If you are professionally worker, that case you may familiar with this situation. If I write something like prefix leo Major, this is my company name, and if I use Leo Major underscore and save, and let me show what actually happening here. I have just given a prefix name this way. And now right now if I make an event, for example, if I view a product, and you see that we are still getting view product, actually we need to give another refresh so that we can make sure that we are getting the code. And right now you say that we also getting the view item event, but it has some prefix, and this prefix will happen for every event. For example, if I add a product to cart, that case is also we get the leo major underscore add to cart. Actually this is a very helpful feature. This feature you can use if you see that same event is happening multiple time because of client already installed some app or anything. That case you can customize your event name as your prefix, and if you like you also do some branding of your company this way. So and it will always show your company name before the event name. And you need to make sure that there is same type of settings in the checkout.liquid file where we have pasted the code, and this is the constant event prefix. You also need same thing between those two quotation mark. Anyway, this is the event prefix. I am just going undo the thing and not giving any prefix. Save it again. And then another settings is formatted id. You may notice that the product id is here. The product id is long id. Actually it contains a couple of things. This is the Shopify underscore. This is actually location of your store, as well as this is the product id, and this information is your product variant id. In many cases this type of id is useful, but you don't need this type of id. Then you just need to change this true to false. You see that the name is formatted item id. Just if we make it false, you will find same kind of settings also here. This is the formatted id. Right now here is also true. If you make this false, you also need to make it false here. And if I save here after making this false and reload the page again, here we are in the single product page, and right now we have also removed the prefix. Now you see that we only getting the exact product id as a product id instead of formatted product id combined with couple of things. Again I'm going back to my code and back to what was before, and then this is the data schema. Actually this is helpful, and I have planned to add more schema here. Right now I have only the e-commerce and dynamic remarketing. And if you like to show the schema, data schema for dynamic remarketing, maybe this is useful for Google ad remarketing. We just need to make this false to true and save it. And right now you see that this is the data structure. We are getting only e-commerce, but if I give a refresh the page, and we are getting view item, as well as you see that we also getting information like dynamic remarketing, and this is the total value as well as items. For dynamic remarketing we need this type of information, I believe. and you don't need to remap your information for your dynamic remarketing data. You can use these data items data from here as well as value. And if I show another thing here, for example, this is the e-commerce show is true. If I make it false and save it and give a reload to show the thing, and again I am giving a reload, and right now you see that we are still getting view item, but we only getting the information related to dynamic remarketing because we made the e-commerce false. But this is the settings. Maybe some cases this is helpful for you. Just I am undo it, and we don't need remarketing data. I am just making this false. And quick notice that also same settings is available for here. So if I scroll down, you see that this is the dynamic remarketing. If you need dynamic remarketing data here, you also need this value also false, and you don't need to e-commerce data. You also need to make it false here, and you need to make it true here anyway. And then I have already discussed about add to wish list selector and quick view selector. Finally, we see that there is a settings for mini cart button selector. We have already seen that our mini cart is perfectly working. For example, right now this is called mini cart when cart is appearing without going to details product page. If I click here, you see that the cart is appearing as a pop-up in the same page. This is called mini cart, and we are getting the view card event without going the actual card page. And this is called mini card, and mini card is view mini card is kind of view card. So I have configured this perfectly so that when someone view the mini card for here, we also can track that event as a view card. This is here, but you should see some selector here, and this is the mini cut button. This is the selector for mini cut button, and I believe that almost 99% cases this default setting is perfectly fine, but some cases you might need to change these settings. This is also actually selector for your this card icon right now. Actually this is actually I have put the right selector here, but maybe it would work for your theme or your shop also. And there is another setting related to minicart. This is this dot minicart appear on. Right now if you see that I am clicking here and the minicart is appearing, but your theme you see that you just the card is appearing just only hovering over here. That case you need to change the value as click to hover. And if I show the thing exactly, then I need to switch my theme. I'm just giving a save here and just exit here and going back to my Shopify dashboard. And here you see that there is another theme. If I publish the theme, and right now this is another theme. Now my current theme is proto theme, and if I give a reload here, and you see that this is also mini card, but if I go to the preview, in previous we get the view card, but right now if we hover over, you see that we don't need to click on the icon to appear this mini card. We just need to hover over. As well as you see that we are not getting view card event. If you like to track this type of view card event, we need to send something from here. So by clicking the three dot, I am going to edit code, and I have already inserted the code for this theme. We just need to change the settings here. From here you see that we need to change few things. For mini card appears on in before, actually this was click. Maybe some cases some reason I have removed this. Normally you will see something like this, but for this theme we need to change it as hover, because the mini card is appearing on hover. As well as we need to change another thing. If you see that, if I inspect here, you see that the selector is not exactly matched with the selector. here you see that this selector is contain a href with the card page link, but this selector is little different. That case we also need to change that selector, so I'm just copy this css class here, as well as I need to change this as css selector this way. And actually this is a javascript array. If you think you can keep previous settings, as well as you can add this as news item this way, just as your wish. And I'm just bringing that like this way. So this is should be hover, because we are getting the mini card on hovering, and this card selector is little different for this theme. And right now if I reload here, now if I hover over here, you see that the mini card has appeared. And if I check here, you see that we are perfectly getting our view card event. Actually these settings maybe don't need for your specific theme, but it is actually happen for rare cases. But your case, at first you need to say whether this default settings work. If the default setting does not work, you need to change here. And now again I am switching back to my theme. My theme was focal theme. Again I am publishing this theme and going to the settings here. So we were in the mini cart settings. This is the mini cart settings, and this settings is perfectly fine for me. And this is the begin checkout button link selector, and I have put all of the possible selector usually can have in your theme. But any cases you see that this default setting is not working, that case you may need to change these settings. The thing is that you need to actually I am just giving a reload here. And if I go here, that case actually you need to change this is checkout button selector. And I saw that almost every case is this, all the default settings is perfectly one. If you see that begin checkout not working, then you just need to little change here. And then this is a setting direct checkout button selector. This is default setting is perfectly fine, and I believe you don't need to change it anything. Actually this is related to additional payment checkout you see in your Shopify theme. And this is the setting keep the value true if add to cart redirect to cart page. And this is another setting. If any case you see that you are adding product to cart but the add to cart event is not firing, that case you need to change this thing. If I show the thing, then it would be clear to you. So I am again going back to my Shopify dashboard. From here I have installed another theme. The theme name is warehouse. So I am just publishing this theme. And this theme I have also inserted all of the code here. So I'm going to the code, and this is the code. And if I show where is the problem with this theme, I am just giving a reload. Right now you see that this is the product and I am in the view item. This is perfectly fine. But if I add this product to cart, you see that this has a redirect to the cart page, but we don't see any add to cart event. If you see this kind of situation, that means you see that there is no add to cart event. But after add to cart product, it is redirect to direct your cart page. The cart page, that case you need another settings. And the settings is if I scroll down a little bit, I think this was the theme. This is the warehouse theme. And if I scroll down and go into that settings, and you see that keep the value true if add to cart redirect to cart page, because this theme after adding to cart it is going to cart page. So I need to change it add true true. And if I save it, and right now again I am going to a catalog page or any single page and give a refresh here, so that I can make sure that we are getting the updated code. And right now we are in here. I am just adding the product to cart, and right now it is doing the same thing, and but luckily we are getting add to cart event. So thing is that any cases you see that the your add to cart event is not firing because of the product is redirecting to the cart page. That case you need to change the settings. By default it will be, it is true, it is false, but you need to make it true. And you can read the comment here. And as well as there is another setting, and again I'm going back and switching back to my default focal theme, and I am just publishing the theme. And I'm going to the code editor here and coming to the code, and we were here. And right now this is keep the value false if the card item increment, decrement, remove, refresh. Actually these settings for the card page. And my theme cases is if I load the page, you see that this is the card page I am in. And in this case you see that if I am here, you see view cart event has fired. If I add this product to cart, this case you see that page has a redirection and we are not getting expected add to cart. For example, if I increment the item, we are expecting a add to cart event, but we are not getting. If you see this kind of situation for cart page, make sure that you are in the cart page and this is happening. That case you need to sense little sense. Is Ajax add to cart increment, decrement? My cases it is not Ajax increment, decrement, so I need to change this as false and save it. And right now if I check the thing again, if I reload the page, and you see that this is the view card, and if I increment a product, right now this is a 4 item, if I increment it, you see that now it is showing the add to cart. As well as if I remove any of the item, for example if I decrement a product here, and it is getting redirect, and we are getting the remove from cart event. And your theme and your shop, if you see that after, and this is happening without page refresh, that case you don't need to do anything. But if the thing refresh the page for cart page, that case you only need to change the value as false. You can read the comment here, but default is true is fine. And this is all of the settings. I believe that these settings is very helpful for doing some tweaks for your theme if any case you see that anything is not expected. And one thing I can share with you, if you are someone who is familiar with code, that cases it could be helpful for you. If I scroll down, actually everything, every e-commerce related event actually passing through a one single location, e-commerce data layer. You see that the line number 805, and everything actually happening here, all kind of e-commerce event actually passing through this location. If you need to change or extend anything, you can do the thing here. You see that this is actually, this is the method where you need to sense if you like to sense anything related to e-commerce. For example, if you need to add additional parameter or anything, or if you rewrite anything, you can come to the e-commerce data layer of this method or function, and here you will find all of the information. You see that I have implemented the remarketing related thing here. This one here I have updated. So this is all about the data layer, and I hope that the data layer help you to successfully tracking all of the complex event of your Shopify theme. Again, if I going back to my website, and if I go to this source code to show the thing, this is the GitHub repository for the ultimate data layer, and you will find the thing. You see that 3 hours ago I have an update, as well as I am continue updating. You will find list of event and related data and everything here, as well as you will find a button, a video button, and little description. And if you have any question or anything, you can just go to the WhatsApp group related to this. Here you can join this, and write your problem, and maybe you can get instance and quickly solution of your data layer related problem. And if you are someone who is curious about the code and like to contribute this project, you are always welcome. So this is all for now, everybody. Hope this data layer will help you to perfectly tracking your Shopify complex event and getting the accurate data. And if you notice any kind of discrepancy or anything related to the Shopify data layer, of course you can write down the comment below. I will fix that thing, because the code is still actually under the development phase, and I have tested the code with almost all of the popular theme, and this is perfectly working with any kind of thing. If you like my video, then I highly recommend to subscribe my channel for getting this kind of video more quickly, as well as you can like the video and share the video with your team member or co-worker so that everybody can get benefited. Have a good day. Bye bye.